Hi, this is Michael Orrell from MobileBurn.com, and today I have with me two small Android-powered smartphones from Sony Ericsson, the Xperia X10 Mini and the X10 Mini Pro. Both of them are available online, unlocked, for about $350. So let's open up the Mini first. Here's the device itself. You see? Very small, blockish little device, 2.5-inch QVGA resolution display. Let's see what else comes. Got a whole slew of different colored rear covers here. We've got a fade black, it's like a pearl white, red, lime, silver, and of course comes with black. Doesn't appear to be any kind of replacement for the front cover though. Here's the charger with a USB cable. Plug that in there. Micro USB on this end. Pair of Sony Ericsson 3.5mm headphones, typically quite good in quality. Nice little earbuds, 3.5mm jack right there. Got some controls for initiating calls and everything right there on the next to the microphone. No volume control though, at least nothing obvious. And we've also got what looks like a small booklet inside. User guide, and of course warranty and safety information and other fun stuff like that. Let's put that all back in the box and see what we have with the Mini Pro. Here's the phone, very similar, slightly longer. Can't tell if it's wider or not. Definitely a little bit thicker. Not too much though, only 2mm is what Sony Ericsson claims. So you can see it's still a very, very small phone. Likewise, comes with Sony Ericsson headphones, same charger, USB cable, and the quick user guide and everything. So instead of wasting time with that, let's get right to the devices. These two devices share almost everything in common, so I'm going to quickly go through and look at the hardware of the X10 Mini, and then we're going to spend the rest of the video with mostly with the X10 Mini Pro, since it has the keyboard and all the other features. As you can see, I swapped out the rear cover, put on the lime green one. Pretty easy to do that. Just grab it at the left hand edge and pull it off. You can see the SIM card slot right there. A 2GB micro SD memory card comes pre-installed. It supports cards as large as 16 GB according to Sony Ericsson. You can see some of the antenna work down here. There's the 5-megapixel camera, speaker grill. Real easy to put it back on. You can see the buttons are built into the cover. Just put this edge down first, and then everything snaps very nicely into place. Very easy to do. In terms of external hardware controls, you've got the power and lock button up top, the volume right here on the right hand edge, and the camera shutter button. On the back, there's the hole there for the speaker grill, the 5-megapixel camera itself, LED flash, and just the Sony Ericsson logo. It's not a soft touch on this, it's hard plastic, but it has a nice sheen to it. It's pretty attractive. Down here at the bottom, it's a menu button, home button, and a back button. There's no dedicated search button on the X10 Mini series. On the bottom of the device, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, which is part of a multi-purpose socket here where you can stick something else in. I'm not sure what that other feature might be. And of course there's the micro USB port for data and charging. The Mini Pro has similar features to the regular Mini. You can see the same hardware controls down here. Micro USB is now uncovered and moved to the left edge. Still have the power and lock button up top, and the multi-purpose 3.5mm headphone jack has been moved up top as well. Volume control sits a little bit higher on the right hand edge than on the Mini, which is a little more usable, and again the camera shutter button. On the bottom, just a lanyard loop fixing point and the hole for the microphone. Back still has the 5-megapixel camera with LED flash, speaker grill, and of course the Sony Ericsson logos. Take a look at the keyboard quickly. You can see it's a 4-row QWERTY keyboard, everything lined up in a grid. The layout seems to be appropriate. interesting that there's left and right arrow keys on either side of the spacebar. I kind of like that idea for editing, especially since you're dealing with such a small display. You know, QVGA resolution at 2.5 inches is really going to be difficult for placing a cursor, so that should help out quite a bit. Use the blue function key here to access the numbers and some of the symbols. The keys are hard plastic. They have a pretty decent feel. I mean, I would have to say that this is a good keyboard without having used it yet, at least hardware-wise. Nice and compact, easy to get around, and the keys have a very distinct feel to them. I'm kind of fond of it. Open up, nothing too fancy to see on the back, just a little bit of a stripe pattern here. Good-looking little device. The back of the X10 Mini Pro comes off quite easily, just like on the regular Mini. Although this time you can see it's easily accessible battery. There's the SIM card slot and the micro SD card, also 2 GB pre-installed. Just snap it right back on, goes into place quite easily. So here we have the phone itself. See, it's a pretty responsive display. I've been playing around with it a little bit just to get it configured for the video. You can see in the corners we have some well-placed shortcuts. See, I've pulled in some sample contacts. It's a panel for setting favorites. Now, it does not appear to be pulling in the images. All these contacts, especially the favorites, all have images associated with them, and this is coming from a Google Gmail account. Let's see if we can search by typing here. It looks like we can. So I'm just going to type BLA, and I'll get Jack Black here. And there's most definitely a contact photo in Gmail for this, so Sony Ericsson's not pulling that in, which is a shame. Hit the button here, go back to the home screen. Notice if I hit it again, it brings up the main menu, multiple panel main menu. And one of the nice things, just like you see on the Samsung Galaxy S class devices, is you can rearrange them. Having a little trouble there. Rearrange things from panel to panel. Long press first and then drag it, and you can even move them into a new blank panel. Really kind of cool. Hit the back button to get out. Pop quickly into the music application. You can see we've got a Block Party song loaded up. This is in landscape mode, of course. You go into portrait mode, the display changes a bit. Pretty nice application, the way it works. Nicely organized, easy to get to. You can see I can pull down the notification area, get back to the music player. Stop it. You're also noticing that I'm having some trouble with the touchscreen from time to time. It seems to be mostly around the edges. Here's the dialer application. Just quickly place a test call here. Turn on the speaker.
Your account. To add money to your account now using a prepaid card, press.
And now that we just placed that call, you can see if I go over to the call history, it shows that I called John Doe. Jump back out to the home screen again. This time we'll go into messaging. This is the text messaging client. You can see it's a threaded messaging system. I like the text input on this device, especially the alphanumeric keypad here. You can very quickly switch panels to get to numbers, letters, or anything you want. T9, of course. Two spaces, puts in a period, kind of cool. And of course, with the Mini Pro version, you can use the keyboard. I do like the keyboard on this device. Very good feel, nice and compact, distinct keys. Works pretty well. I'm a little unsure what the purpose of this is. Down here at the bottom, maybe it's good if you're supporting multiple languages. Allows you to switch the languages you're using. And it shows a little indicator here in terms of the shift position, but it also gets in the way of other buttons down here, like send. So it's not worked all that well for me. I'd like a way to turn that off, but overall text input on this device has been really pretty good, which is considering that how bad the original Xperia X10 was with text input. I'm quite pleased.